Okay. Coming back. Reconvening. Okay. I'll stand up, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by Dr. Greenberg. For a moment of silence. Right hand over your heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you can remain standing, and we'd like to have a moment of silence in honor of the memory of Clayton Thomas, a 25-year custodian, worked for the district for 25 years, and most recently at the Student Services Center. So if we could have a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Greenberg. Okay, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, please vote. Did you guys vote?
I voted.
My vote's not coming up.
Joan isn't coming out either.
No, I voted.
I voted too.
Jose and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The bottom portion.
I don't care with
The
that.
bottom portion still shows the vote from the adjournment.
Like that.
For me.
Yeah, oh.
Or refresh.
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 Oh, wait, it's going.
Oh, he's going. He's,
Yeah.
he's refreshing. Oh, he's not Wi-Fi? Oh.
I had to log back in, but yeah.
Where is outside?
That's showing. Okay.
Okay. Okay, report out of closed session.
There is no report this evening out of closed session, Mr. President.
Thank you. District update by the superintendent.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. It's a pleasure to speak to you tonight about what's going on in the district and talk about some really great things. We're going to start off with our RAVE Award, where we recognize, that's easy for me to say, where we recognize an outstanding employee. Mr. Steve Swartz, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, is going to recognize a great teacher from the California Military Institute.
Just want to make sure he was making it in before we got started on this. Thank you for the opportunity, Governing Board and members of the public. It's my honor every month. It seems like we get an opportunity to recognize and provide a RAVE Award, which stands for Recognizing All Valuable Employees. This month's award is someone who comes to us from CMI and was nominated by our assistant principal at CMI, Ruba Tay. So, Ruba, you will come up and present and have Mr. Guzman.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight it is with honor that I present Mr. Robert Guzman for his RAVE Award. The reason why Mr. Guzman is so great is because in such a small period of time since he assumed the position of TOSA at CMI, he has done a lot. Coding club, ETC meetings, specifically for CMI, besides the district ones. The parent night, we had a huge success. Parents came out. It was conducted in Spanish and English. He showed them how to access their students' Infinite Campus. It was a huge success. I have never seen so many parents on campus interested in getting to know what's going on in their students' Infinite Campus grades and all of this. He's helpful, takes initiative. I mean, I could go on and on forever, but he really deserved it. And when I just see him work, the first thing I thought of is he needs to be recognized. And one of his traits is also giving credit where credit is due. Well, as soon as I spoke to him and I thanked him for all he does, he turned around and said, Mr. Joe Williams was a great help to him. So I won't say much because I know he wants to talk about him a little bit too. So without further ado, Mr. Guzman.
Thank you. So I just wanted to thank the board for creating the tech coach position. I really appreciate that and allowing me the opportunity to take on this job. I want to thank my administrators at CMI for believing in me and offering me the position. I want to thank Joe Williams for his vision, leadership as Director of Technology, and for his constant encouragement to advance my tech skills. To the other tech coaches in the district, for the collaborative culture that they've created and the welcoming. They've been such a great asset to me in this position. To my CMI teachers, staff, helping me adjust and trusting in me that we will take this to another level. Lastly, for my students, who are my number one resource and encouraging me. Thank you very much.
Turn my microphone on. And speaking about greatness, we're going to talk about a lot of great students and programs right now. And we're going to start with the NJROTC program at Paloma Valley High School. We have Master Sergeant Frank Puebla here. Please come to the podium. But before we show you a video clip that was on Channel 7 Eyewitness News of the trip that his students were going to take, what I'm going to do is brag about you a little. Then we're going to show the clip. Then I'm going to let you finish it up and tell us how the kids did. But we'd like to see you in uniform, so you stand right there at the podium, sir.
I don't know how long I can suck it in.
Yeah. You know, truth be told, a few years ago, the Navy sent us a letter. They were ready to close down the NJROTC program at Paloma Valley. It was down to about 60 students. And the Navy can't support a program that small. And as their budgets are being cut, they're looking for programs to cut. Well, lo and behold, Master Sergeant Frank Puebla took the program over. And now approximately 230 students are involved. And not just that they're doing great things at Paloma and they're outstanding young men and women learning about honor, courage, patriotism, all kinds of wonderful things that they learn. They're successful as well. And so Sarah, can you show that video clip? Here it comes.
Menifee will compete in a national drill team competition.
New at 6, they are getting high marks for their in-sync performances in Inland Empire Bureau.
The first time some high school students in Menifee will compete in a national drill team competition.
New at 6, they are getting high marks for their in-sync performances in Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan introduces us to students who know how to work together and work the crowd.
For the Navy Junior ROTC program at Paloma Valley High in Menifee, this drill requires precision, focus, attention to detail, and other valuable life lessons all along the way.
Most people just think it's about military and stuff like that, but there's a lot about leadership and getting to know like different people.
It's taught me to be a better person, how to treat people right.
And how to show up on time.
Being on time is late. Being early is on time.
Master Sergeant Frank Puebla is in charge of the program.
I got amazing kids, and each one of them are unique, and they do have their own stories. From broken homes to, I got a couple that live in group homes.
1, 2, 3. There's a lot of stress at home. There's a lot, but I work through it every day.
But that work has paid off. For the first time ever, they're going to the National Drill Team competition in Pensacola, Florida.
Never been out of state or on an airplane or anything like that, so it's pretty exciting.
Of course, fundraising for the trip to Florida isn't going to be easy, but they're getting creative. For example, they didn't need to buy any plane tickets.
We were lucky enough to be able to get on a military aircraft, a NALO flight, Naval Airlift flight.
Yes, being resourceful is another valuable lesson. They leave for Florida next week. I don't think any of them will be late. In Menifee, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Ladies and gentlemen, Master Sergeant Frank Puebla.
Good evening, distinguished members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to inform everyone that we made it to Florida. We went over there. We represented not only the cadets within the program, Paloma Valley, but we also represented Menifee, and we did so in a very honorable fashion. In the state of California, Southern California and Arizona, we are ranked number 3. After the national competition, we were officially ranked number 17 in the nation out of 613 schools.
Wow.
I would like to emphasize that the program is more than just drill and PT. Really, the program is a character developing program. We do talk about honor, courage, command. We talk about life values. We talk about how to overcome conflicts, conflict resolution, self-discipline, teamwork, positive mental attitude, things of that nature. I do believe I got a little bit more latitude than some of my fellow teachers, but I will say that the kids rise to the standard that we set for them. We let them know that they got more inside them. The deeper they dig, the more they find. Kind of like our soccer team. Yeah. So, but I do want to say that it is my pleasure and my honor to be a part of this program, to be a part of Paloma Valley High School. I got amazing teachers and contemporaries that work with me and give me the ability to do what I do. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, as long as we're in the southern end of the district, let's talk about these wonderful and talented young ladies that are here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Paloma Valley High School soccer team that came in second for the CIF championship, but we've had teams that have come in second before, and we've had teams that come in first before. But in recent memory, and I've gone back to talk to all the historians that have been around here, we've never had an athletic team in recent memory move on to the state tournament for CIF. And ladies and gentlemen, the Paloma Valley High School soccer team did just that this year. Congratulations, ladies. I'm going to have Coach Dillon, if you would like to come up to the microphone and tell us about these girls and the wonderful accomplishments they made this season. You've been coach there for a long time, and this is your best team ever.
Yeah, this is my 8th year, and we won league before. This was the 4th time we've won league in the school history. First time we've ever made it to the final CIF. Lost a heartbreaker overtime, double overtime, and first time qualifying for state, and they did awesome. They worked very hard, and we have a great bunch of girls. And can I introduce
you?
One of
Absolutely.
them? All right. Let's see, we got Lauren Perez, Lindy Baca, Jada Brown, Miriam Mota, Kylie Doty, Taylor Groves, Allison Bernas, Caitlin Johnson, Melody Gonzalez, Christina Rodriguez, Vanessa Benuelos, Felicia Moran, Emily Guzman, Blakelyn Hendricks, Michaela Lane Adams, and Jordan King.
Congratulations.
So thank you for honoring us. I appreciate it.
We respect what you've done, and we'll just look forward. We know you have a lot of players coming back next year.
Yeah,
so
we do. Thank
you. Have a great team. Thank you. Congratulations. Now, normally I recognize great students, athletic competitions, academic competitions, students that have overcome adversity, but this is an unusual one. Ms. Van Rensburg, could you bring up Adrian Garcia? You and Adrian come to the podium. Adrian, you don't have to talk, but I'm going to talk about you. Let me read you a little story about Adrian that I don't think many of you know. On August 1st, 2014, about 6 p.m., Ms. Paula Johnson walked across the street from her home in Paris to pick up her neighbor's mail. When Paula reached the sidewalk, she felt something on her right ankle. As Paula turned around to look, she saw her neighbor's German Shepherd. Paula then felt something on her left ankle and saw the same owner's other dog. Both dogs started biting Paula, one on each side of her. Paula began screaming and yelling for help as loud as she could for help, with no avail. Even those from people were 3 houses away. Paula could see there were about 6 people on each side of the street that just stood there and watched. When Paula fell to the ground, she felt that she did not have much time left because she began to black out. By then, she looked up and saw this young man who saved her life, Adrian Garcia. Paula was able to get up, and just then one of her neighbors pulled her car up so she could jump in. A few days later, she wanted to find out who that young man was, but because she'd never seen him before, she had no way of finding him. Paula did not give up and learned that the young man lived a couple streets over, and his name was Adrian Garcia. Adrian was 15 years old at the time when Paula thanked him for helping her, as she asked, let me read that again. Adrian was 15 years old at the time when Paula thanked him for helping her, and she asked, "How did you get them to stop?" Adrian replied, "He just started to kick the dogs." Paula wanted to make sure that Adrian knew how grateful she was. She gave Adrian $600 for his brave act because if it was not for him, she does not think that what would have happened to her, she kind of imagines that she wouldn't even be alive. I hope you can agree that Adrian Garcia deserves to be recognized for stepping up to help a person in need of saving. Mayor Pro Tem of Paris, Tanya Burke, will be joining the Paris Valley Chamber of Commerce to award Adrian on April 28th at a Paris City Council meeting. So I thought we'd beat the City Council to it. You know, Adrian, this is really incredible. I mean, I know you didn't do it to get recognized. I know you didn't do it for the $600. You did it because it was just the right thing to do. But as your superintendent, on behalf of the school district, thank you for standing up and doing the right thing. You're an amazing young man.
Thank you.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but congratulations. Congratulations. Quite a story. Last Saturday, the Paris Union Management Association did its annual golf tournament to raise scholarships for Student of the Year. And Grant Bennett, I think, is outside working the door. Grant, could you come in for a moment? Grant Bennett, who is a director in educational services for us. Grant heads up this golf tournament every year, and this year, highest number of golfers included all of our employees. We had teachers, administrators, classified employees. We had business partners, people from the community. We had 72 golfers. And Grant, why don't you come up to the podium? How much money did we raise again for student scholarships in one day?
Well, our net proceeds were in excess of $7,500 for the day.
Wow.
So all of that will be going to kids graduating from our schools.
Thank you, Grant. Also want you to know, as we move around the district, I got this email from Mr. Fung, who's a teacher at Heritage High School. He said, "I'm delighted to inform you that for the 3rd year in a row, the Heritage High School Speech and Debate team will compete at the National Speech and Debate Championships. Candace Rosado is qualified in humorist interpretation and will make her 3rd appearance at Nationals. This year, the California Speech and Debate Championships will be hosted by Vista Murrieta High School. The competition will take place April 17th and 19th, and we wanted the board to know, again, that speech and debate program, even without Mr. Clough in charge of it, is doing quite well. So we congratulate the student and the teacher for that as well. Now, governing board, you know Kathy Hakala. She's the culinary arts teacher at Paris High School. We had all kinds of good food the last time. Every time she comes, she brings good food. Should invite her to come to every board meeting. But she reports to us that Paris High School junior Victoria Luna received a silver medal in the state competition in restaurant service, a $750 scholarship to Johnson and Wales University. And while we're at Paris High School, Leslie Ayala, you've seen her mother here. She's come and spoken to you as a governing board. Mrs. Ayala's daughter, Leslie, is a senior at Paris High School, not only got one acceptance to a military academy, but two. She's been accepted at both West Point and Annapolis, and she's received both Air Force and Navy ROTC scholarships. So I think we deserve a nice round of applause for Leslie Ayala. Now, we all know that special education has its challenges for the parents, for the teachers, for the administrators, for everybody involved. And every year the state looks at programs and decides, hey, we need to help this program and intercede. We had a verification review where they look at our special education program from top to bottom, and I got this email from Mr. Morris. Everybody in our district touches the lives of special education students on a daily basis, so I want to say congratulations to everyone. We received official notification, this was Monday, April 6th, that we have been exited from verification review by the California Department of Education. Last year, our district was randomly selected to undergo a verification audit by the Special Education Compliance Division. School districts remain in verification review status until they prove they are strong in all areas of compliance. Although some districts remain in audit status for multiple years, our district exited verification review in a mere 13 months. I want to say thank you to all the hardworking special ed staff, teachers, classified employees, as well as everyone else who supported the special education staffs during this difficult audit. I'm proud of their attention to detail and tireless efforts on behalf of our students. So congratulations for that. Also want everybody to know that we had a WASC review at Paris High School on Monday, and I was able to be there in the beginning and at the end. And the good news is the team is very appreciative of all of the work being done by our teachers to advance both Common Core and technology, as well as the new way of learning in our classrooms. And so it was a very successful one-day visit by the WASC team, and I thought the board would want to know Paris High School is making great progress. Marcy Savage is not here because she's with our high school principals, the three of them, plus the CMI assistant principal, one of the two assistant principals at CMI, at the Academic All-Star Dinner event for Riverside County. It's held in Riverside. They just happened to pick our board meeting to do it on. So normally I would be there, so Mrs. Savage is there. In fact, Dr. Rouse should be there tonight as well as principal at his high school, so his assistant principal is there so he could be here. So this is what Marcy Savage wanted me to tell you about our great library people. Since I will not be in attendance, several board, let me do that again, start again. I just need to read what she wrote me, not try to read the other stuff. April is School Library Month. School library and media centers make a difference. April marks School Library Month, and 2015 is the 30th anniversary of such. Honoring the anniversary, the 2015 theme is Your School Library Where Learning Never Ends. Our library staff, district librarians, and library media techs advocates for student and family literacy in supporting lifelong learning. By supporting the goals of the Paris Union High School District and by serving all students and teachers, our library program is an integral part of the instructional process. Thank you for your dedication and service in implementing quality library programs. And she wanted me to advocate and introduce, and I think one of our librarians is here today, so I'm going to make her stand up. I'm going to recognize District Librarian Barbie Wild, and Andrew Cruz. It's fortuitous that you're here. Thank you. Congratulations, Barbie. And also Andrew Cruz, who primarily works at Pinacati Middle School. Also want to recognize the library media technicians, Mary Beth Colvin from the Academy, Erica Holstrom from Paris Lake High School, Samantha Molina from Pinacati Middle School, Monica Martin from Paloma Valley High School, Jamie Bostick from Heritage High School, Annie Pennington from Paris High School, and Tracy, I'm not going to pronounce her name right. Yeah, Tracy A. from CMI. I've been told don't try to. So thank you, Barbie, and please share our thank you and congratulations for the library people for all the hard work that they do. You could applaud them. I think they deserve it. A couple of days ago, I was informed that Ken Cohen, Scott Moore, and Michael Pfeiffer have been recognized as 2015 recipients of the Citrus Belt Athletic Directors Association Sportsmanship Award. Congratulations to the three of these coaches who work so hard. Obviously, all of our schools want to win every single athletic competition, as we found out tonight, and league title available. That being said, winning, or in this case, competing with dignity, is one of the greatest lessons that can be learned on the field, in the gym, or in the swimming pool. I'd like to recognize all three of them. I don't know if any... there, yes. Oh, okay, so come on up, guys, so we can properly recognize you. Scott Moore from Heritage High School, Ken Cohen from Paris High School. Neither one of you want to talk? God, I'm surprised, Ken. A microphone? I am really surprised. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Pfeiffer couldn't be here, but these are two of the best athletic directors in all of Southern California. Let's recognize them with a nice round of applause. Thank you very much. I want everybody to know we had a great career day last week at Paloma Valley High School. It was in the gym, first time they'd done it there, and I think it worked out great. And I know Dr. Rosenstein worked very hard on that, and I congratulate her for that. Last week, we had community forums on facilities to roll out and talk about middle school number 2 and high school number 4. And I want to thank our facilities team, our architects, Grant Bennett, Joe Williams, and Shane Pinnell for being there. We didn't have a big turnout, but I think they found that the drawings and the vision of what these schools are going to look like is pretty amazing. So, Candace, please share my congratulations with your team. Lastly, as we get near the end here, I want to congratulate Tanya Davis, our Executive Director of Human Resources, who is the Western Riverside Association of School Managers Classified Administrator of the Year. Where are you, Tanya? Right there, stand up. And Judy Miller, are you in the audience, or are you just, not in the audience? She's probably outside. Okay. Every year, there's an organization known as the California Association of School Business Officials, including Candace, many of our team in the business department, and school districts throughout California. They have an annual conference and training where they go through all kinds of great workshops. This year, the whole conference was organized by Judy Miller. And she did a wonderful job there, and she's not here, so we're not going to clap for her, but I wish her the best. All right, some of you are going to clap for her. Now, hopefully I'll get this right, and if not, Vicki Mueller will correct me. A few weeks ago, there was a problem with Burnbook. Burnbook is a social media app where kids were allowed to get on and make anonymous threats to friends, to non-friends, to say bad things about schools, about teachers, and it was out of control in a lot of schools in Southern California. And Mark Sinnott, who's the tech coach at Pentecostal Middle School, and Vicki Mueller and others decided, I think we can beat this. And so what they did is they went on to the site and started posting all kinds of positive things about teachers and other students and schools. And so the kids basically gave up, or the people who wanted to post negative things said, oh man, all these positive things about the school. It happened not just at Pentecostal, it grew and went over to Paris High School. So I commend the teachers for doing that. Instead of, this could have been a really negative thing, and it could have been stayed as a negative thing for a long time. But Vicki, I hope you'll share with the teachers at Pentecostal that we really appreciate that they went on to say the great things that are going on at the school. And it was a brilliant idea and executed flawlessly. Congratulations. I think they're afraid of you guys putting all that positive stuff, so they've given up. So congratulations to you and your team, and that'll conclude my report.
Thank you, Dr. Greenberg. Okay, student representatives to the Board of Trustees. Trustee Arouse.
At this time, we are going to welcome Anthony Hughes-Huff and Natalie Bowen from Heritage High School.
Just so you know, as they're coming up, we have told the students and the principals and their ASB advisors 3 to 5 minutes per school. Last time it got a little out of control. I'm not blaming Heritage. Just got a little out of control. So anyway, we want to hear all the great things. So your clock hasn't started yet.
Good evening, board members and trustees. My name is Anthony.
And my name is Natalie. First, we would like to congratulate Ms. Smith and Ms. Zerold for being County Classified Employee and Principal of the Year. We also want to congratulate Jalen Noble as our April Student of the Month.
Heritage has been going pretty great lately. Alicia Robinson, a senior at our school, has earned a $180,000 scholarship for the Marine Corps ROTC to any college that she chooses. She has chosen to go to the University of Arizona.
Yes, big congrats to Alicia. She worked very hard over her high school career for that. Also coming up this Friday is our Mr. Heritage pageant. It's a male beauty pageant. It's this Friday at 7. Tickets are $5, and we just want to invite you guys to come support our seniors.
This Saturday, ASB is hosting a prom for our students with special needs, called the VIP Prom. It stands for Very Important Prom. We have also invited students from both Paloma and Paris. We can't wait to see everybody dressed up and ready to experience the night at Gatsby's. Students will receive complimentary pictures from Life Touch Portraits, dinner, and dancing along with our ASB officers. Thank you to the Special Education Department for arranging transportation for those students who will need it, especially Ms. Savage and Ms. Braxton.
Next Saturday is our annual prom, which is going to be held at the Hall of Champions in San Diego. Our juniors and seniors are getting ready for prom, shopping, buying their dresses and tuxedos. We can't wait to see everyone dressed up, having a great, fun, and appropriate time.
Also, our drama department is putting on their spring musical called Curtains, which is May 8th, 9th, 15th, and 16th. Our FFA is also on their way to state conference this Friday. We want to wish them luck.
And we also want to congratulate Candace Rosado for placing third in the state. She has qualified for nationals in speech and debate for the third year in a row. We're very excited to see how she does competing in the humorous interpretation.
On April 10th, we hosted our school's Relay for Life event in the gym. There was 12 individual teams that participated, and we raised just under $12,000 so far, but the committee is still counting donations. We want to thank CMI as they are one of our biggest contributors participating in the event.
Our Key Club is hosting our last blood drive of the year on April 22nd. By the end of the drive, we anticipate that we have donated approximately 600 units of blood to LifeString Blood Bank.
And that's what we have for Heritage. We want to thank you guys for the opportunity to come tell you about our school. Thank you.
And thank you, Anthony and Natalie. Excellent job.
Yes, thank you. Has San Diego ever had a champion? The city, they had the Hall of Champions. I was just wondering if they ever had a champion.
Mr. Rossi and I had a little telepathy on that. See, Chargers, Padres, Aztecs. It's like, what? There's no national champ. There couldn't be a Hall of Champions unless it's like a Little League Hall of Champions. Just kidding.
Just giving you a hard time. Okay, Trustee Twyman.
From Paloma Valley, Raymond Garcia.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. We're from Paloma Valley High School, and we're here to do our slides and everything. Next.
Tell you a little bit more about the school. So, let's get started.
The spring band concert Mr. Richardson directed went amazing and blew everybody out of the sky. But I went there personally, and the music sounded amazing, the color card looked amazing, everything just went all according to plan. And it's his first year as being the school band director, and he did a phenomenal job. As Master Sergeant Pueblo said about the ROTC, they scored 17th place out of 613 possible schools, and also have an upcoming military ball, which is being held at Pachanga, and it's very elegant, and I would recommend to invite you. the CBA AADA Award. Mr. Michael Pfeiffer.
Michael. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Was recognized by the Citrus Belt Area Athletic Directors Association as a recipient of the Sportsmanship Award.
The fashion show at Paloma. So we had a prom fashion show just last Friday, I believe, and it was a big turnout, and it was really cool. We had a bunch of students that strut their stuff and show what they got for the school. So that was pretty interesting. It was directed by Jody Gare, I believe her name is pronounced, and it was really cool.
And I'd like to thank Men's Warehouse and David's Bridal and Ann's Classic Affairs for giving us rentals and all that to wear during that event, and it went amazing as planned.
Oh, if he was, I missed him. Should have got the autograph. Mr. Wilson's science class. So Mr. Michael Wilson had this awesome idea to experiment with rocketry. So their goal was to see which student could launch a rocket in the air and keep it up there the longest and the highest. And so out of a bunch of classes, there were a few kids that got their rocket, I want to say at least more than 70 to 80 feet up there. And it was really cool, actually.
The OE Academic and Athletic Team Awards, the boys soccer, the boys basketball, the boys wrestling, girls soccer, girls basketball, and water polo all scored an average 3.0 GPA.
The career fair, which was really cool, the job fair. Last week we had our annual job fair. Not only did students get an opportunity to go and to view all kinds of careers, from politics to banking to engineering to medical responding to FBI, police force, homeland security,
banking,
banking, and even to jobs around the area such as Texas Roadhouse, Albertsons, Starbucks. We had two students hired like on the spot from the event. One of which being me, I was hired at Texas Roadhouse, and another student who was hired, I believe, at Starbucks. And so it was really cool. We got a lot of information.
Learned a lot, especially, I didn't know this before, but Starbucks pays for your college. And also Chase Banking would pay for your college as well. The Relay for Life, I personally know last year went a blast, and we raised over $70,000 for cancer and cancer research. And it will be upcoming on May 16th, and it'll be another big success for cancer research and people that suffer from cancer. And I invite you guys to come out.
Shrek the Musical. So I actually performed in this musical. I'm Lord Farquaad. I'm the little guy up there in the screen. It was a really awesome musical, I gotta say. It was really fun to put on, and the production was amazing. We sold out 2 houses, making over $2,000 both nights, and it was a big turnout. We actually were able to be in the newspaper, so that was really cool.
The Senior One Act Plays is coming up at April 24th and 7 p.m. Do you know much about that?
Yes, I do. Okay, so seniors in the drama club, they're usually thespians. They're recognized nationally as a thespian, so they get to each put on their own one act, which is a directed scene, like a directed scene or a directed play or a skit that they direct themselves or get rights to produce. And it's really cool. So Shakespeare Theater. Okay, so Shakespeare Theater was more known as DTASC. It's the Shakespeare competition. So all different kinds of schools go together and to see which ones got the best performers for Shakespeare. We have 3 teams competing that are at the school, and they're working hard beyond my comprehension. They're memorizing so many Shakespeare lines and plays, monologues, and it's incredible.
And the Mr. Paloma is coming up on May 1st at 7 p.m., where the men of Paloma will show off their biggest talents. I know last year, I believe it was Mickley, Cadet Mickley. He hurt himself pretty bad on the stage, but he showed off amazing talents. I know there was a painter, a magician.
Yeah, there was a kid there who painted upside down, actually. That was pretty cool.
He was spinning rifles.
He hurt himself on stage.
Took the stance, break the leg, too serious.
Perfect attendance. Every month, students with perfect attendance get to spin the prize wheel for lunch prizes or different shirts and socks or spirit gear, we'd like to call it, from Paloma. And the next event is April 30th. And that is all that we have for Paloma going on right now. We'd like to thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing us to come up and speak on behalf of Paloma.
Thank you, gentlemen. Trustee Cooley.
From Paris High School, Ashley Jackson and Melissa Vasquez. Melissa.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Good evening, President Nelson and board members. Dr. Greenberg and Cabinet. Sorry. I'm Major Ashley Jackson, Paris High's ROTC, along with my buddy Melissa Vasquez. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing that. So for important people of the month here at Paris High School, we have our teacher of the month was Mr. Hayes. Some of you may know him. He's our amazing physics teacher on campus, and when he's not teaching about launching rockets, he's our advisor he's our Arduino advisor on campus. And for our student of the month at Paris High School was Jose Aguirre. Mr. Aguirre is an honorary ASB member because he couldn't fit it into his schedule. And Mr. Aguirre has been accepted into San Luis Obispo and is studying biomedical. And as Dr. Greenberg mentioned earlier, Leslie Ayala that got accepted into West Point and Annapolis, she chose to go to Annapolis. And yeah, chose to go to Annapolis. She was like, I denied West Point. Yeah. I was like, all right then. Yeah, she's like, okay.
For FNL, this month, the Teen Summit sponsored by FNL Riverside, Country Department of Mental Health, and Paris Valley Recovery Center and Think Together will host its third annual summit. It will include a motivational speaker and workshops for students. Our sports challenge. Thank you for all who attended this year's sports challenge. By all accounts, it was a great success that involved 3 high schools, Paris Police Department, and student involvement. Our drama put on its third day performance of Footloose. It was their spring musical this year. Their musical took place during March 27, 28, and 29, with Marcos Monroy as the lead role and Diana Terrazas as their lead female role. Livestream came out to thank ASB for their efforts in helping to collect a record 200 units of blood with 25 pizzas and drinks. Nevertheless, ASB was glad to participate in the blood drive, regardless of a reward or not.
So we had a week off, yay, a little break before AP test came up. With all things coming up, prom is in full swing, including royalty enthusiasts, prep rallies, models for rallies, and special proposals are being made as well. Coming up on Friday the 24th, lip sync. BSU in the junior class is putting on a lip sync where students can enjoy the public and can enjoy singing in public and not just in the shower. Something that you guys might not know about is that on April 25th at 9 a.m., JROTC is going to be having a 5K run. Our 5K run is going to be on our track. It's going to loop around Paris, and then we're going to do another lap onto the track to make a complete 3.5 miles. So joining 3.1, there you go. Joining all other Army ROTC battalions in the nations, we're trying to break a world record of having the most people running at the same time. So we welcome any and everyone to come out, even if it's just for a morning walk.
ASB is jazzing up the night. We'll be hosting our talent show on Friday, May 8th. So everyone from dancers to banjo players can express something amazing with the school.
And to the other student board representatives, we wanted to invite them to our 5K run on April 25th. So that concludes us. Thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Trustee Agundez.
From Pinacate Middle School, student rep Melissa Linares and Renee Murillo.
Good evening, President Nellison, members of the board, Dr. Greenberg, members of the cabinet. I am Melissa Linares, Pinacate's ASB Vice President, and here with me tonight is Renee Murillo, Pinacate's ASB Secretary. Thanks for having us here so we can report on all the wonderful things happening at Pinacate. During the month of March, some students had some negative things said about them on a social media app called Burn Book, but our wonderful Puma staff members helped put an end to it. Thanks again to all of our teachers who continually posted motivating and positive messages to flood Burn Book. The strategy is working and is one more thing that helps Pinacate a positive place. Now Club Life and ASB had started a new campaign called #ICanHelp. Our goal is to continue to spread positive messages in a variety of ways, but especially through social media.
In sports, before the break, our Puma girls softball team traveled out to Hemet to play St. Hyacinth Academy in San Jacinto for the first softball game in a few years. Although they lost, all of the girls played extremely well and fought to the very end. Good job, Lady Pumas. We are glad that you're playing softball again, and we're looking forward to the next game. On that same day in school, the boys volleyball played their first league game. Our Pumas started off slowly, but they pulled it together and won the final game to win the match. Thanks goes to the PE department with providing the young men with a solid foundation to the game of volleyball. On Wednesday, March 25th, the girls and boys soccer team traveled to Nicollet Middle School for a rematch. The girls played their best game of the season, and they scored a great goal on a Puma free kick. Our Lady Pumas held onto their lead until late in the game, but the home team scored to tie the game. The boys dominated the entire game against Nicollet and won 4-0. Both teams are excited for their big match against CMI tomorrow, and then in May for their annual Think Together soccer tournament. Go Pumas!
Congratulations to our 2014-2015 Avid Site Write-Off Award winners. Taylor Smith won for 8th grade. Aurelie Serrato won for 7th grade. Sylvia Briones was 8th grade honorable mention. And Amariah Callie was 7th grade honorable mention. All four were recognized at Redlands University on Tuesday, March 31st. Thanks goes to Ms. Mackenzie for attending the event and our Avid teachers for helping these students achieve this recognition. On Thursday, April 9th, we held our new 7th grade orientation. Hundreds of future 7th graders and their family members ate pizza in the NPR and then toured the campus with our ASB leaders. The tour ended in the gym where there was a rally featuring performances from our Puma dance team and band. Then they listened to a brief presentation about all the great things happening at Pinacate offers. After the presentation, they signed up for next year's elective sports and clubs. Overall, it was a fun evening, and we received positive feedback from our future Pumas and their parents. Great job goes to all of our staff members who planned, organized, and put on a wonderful event. This Saturday, almost 50 students showed up to participate in the last Saturday Science Camp of the year. Thanks goes to our awesome science teachers, Ms. Harris, Ms. Mueller, Ms. Kingra, Mr. Belts, and Mr. Yu, and to Assistant Principal Greg Wise for working so hard to organize the camp. Students said it was a lot of fun.
This is our report. Do you have any questions? Thank you for listening and for all of your support. We look forward to reporting about more great things at Pinacati in May.
Thank you, Melissa and Renee. From the Academy, Kelsey Koenig.
Hi. Good evening, President Nielsen, members of the school board, Dr. Greenberg, and the entire cabinet. My name is Kelsey Koenig, and I am representing the Academy. There has been several interesting and exciting things about happening at the Academy. The robotics program has finally made it to the Academy. We have been programming the robots to remove or around an object. It's a time-consuming process, but very rewarding to see it moving exactly where we want it to go. I can't say that it always works right the first time, but eventually it works. Mr. Mark Sinnott has graciously offered his time to teach us computer coding. He meets with students weekly in our math classes. Friday Night Live sponsored an event with Deb Beckwith. She is an anti-substance abuse and motivational speaker with a compelling experience to share. She met with us in a small group so she could get to know us a little better, share her stories of her daughter losing her battle with her addiction to over-the-counter cold medicine. It isn't always the illegal drugs that take us down. We need to be aware of the risk with everything we put into our bodies. Some of our students have the opportunity to go to Palm Springs and attend the Board of Supervisors Youth Summit. There were workshops on tolerance, distracted driving, and being safe. But the most amazing speaker was one of the original Freedom Riders. He talked about teaching and learning being a joint process. The teachers can only teach if the students are willing to learn. We continue to hold award assemblies to recognize our students for their success in attendance, academics, and citizenship. Skateboards, headphones, gift cards, and delicious foods are offered as an incentives. Ms. Zimmerman offers tutoring in her classroom after schools and during lunch. She is a real asset to us all. Ms. Freeberg continues to host Bible Club twice a week during lunch. We would like to thank our mentors who given their time to work with our students at our school. Thank you to Mark Sinnott, Hector Gonzalez, Art Fritz, Dr. Charles Newman, Nick Newkirk for taking a special interest in us. Please contact Dr. Garcia if you are interested in becoming a mentor and making a difference in students' life. Not that we are counting, but there's only 39 actual school days left until summer break. Thank you for your time and interest in our school.
Thank you, Kelsey. Trustee Arauz.
Thank you, President Nelson. Now let's welcome from Perris Lake High School the students reps Osmara Ponce, Angel Castillo, Jose Herrera, Jordi Ruiz, and Hope Stover.
Good evening, Superintendent and members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to share what is happening at Perris Lake High School. My name is Hope. I'm currently a junior, and I am ASB's president at Perris Lake High School. Perris Lake High School will host its first annual senior pinning ceremony on May 13th, 2015. It will take place at Pinacati Middle School at 6 in the MPR to honor our graduating students. Perris Lake has been invited as in years past to participate in the Perris High School Prom, which will take place at the Marconi Automotive Museum in May.
Good evening. My name is Mara, and I'm a senior and the vice president of ASB at Perris Lake High School. Our WASC accreditation visit will take place this month, and we are looking forward to our positively focused visit, mainly of our great things happening on our campus. Many thanks not only to our hardworking students, but our staff and our administrators that make the lake feel like a second home to our fellow peers. Spirit Week takes place the week of April 27th. ASB is also preparing our final talent show in May. We are encouraging any and all of our students to participate. We are currently working on a field day to take place on June 3rd. Our ASB members are finalizing the activities and themed posters.
Thank you for having us. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. And Trustee Cooley.
Oops. Let's hope I don't forget my water bottle today. All right. Good evening, President Nelson, Dr. Greenberg, and members of the Cabinet. My name is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Miguel Lopez, and I'll be representing CMI today. So from April 10th to April 12th, two of our juniors, Cadet Captain Omar Guerra and Cadet Sergeant Major Salvador Fierros, had the pleasure of attending the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, otherwise known as RYLA. Now, for those of you not familiar with RYLA, it's basically a camp for juniors where a bunch of students from throughout California and throughout the world are able to attend a camp dedicated to learning leadership and focusing on leadership activities. And one of the most amazing things I find is every time one of our students comes back from RYLA, or whoever it is, they're all stronger as a group, and they want to share that unity with the rest of the school. The first day that these two cadets came back, the first thing they asked me was, how can I join Interact? So I'm happy to say that our club now has 2 additional Interact members. Hopefully one of them will one day be our Interact president when I'm gone this year. So it's going to be, CMI is looking forward to a bunch of great things. From April 10th to the 11th, CMI's high school and middle school relay teams had the honor of attending Relay for Life at Heritage High School with these guys over here. And it was actually my first time attending Relay for Life, and I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't attend for the other 5 years that I've been here at CMI. But for the 1 year that I went, I have to say that not only was it a fun event, it was really emotional and spiritual for everyone who was there. A lot of people not only went to have fun, but they went to donate their resources, they went to donate their time towards a cause and towards a disease that has rampaged the world for far too long. And it was really an honor for me to be able to attend with the Heritage kids and with everybody else that attended. That same day, our drill team and some of our IMA contestants went up to the CACC drill competition and individual major award competition. From that Saturday, we took first place unarmed platoon for middle school, second place color guard for middle school, second place unarmed platoon for high school, second place junior division non-commissioned officer for middle school, and third place senior overall cadet. So all of our teams did an amazing job, and we're always really proud of them. I know every time I come up here, I talk about our drill team, but they're always winning so many awards, it's hard to keep up. Also, that same day, it was a really busy Saturday, our track team boys placed first overall, and our ladies placed second overall. And this Saturday is actually our last meet before CIFs over at Paloma Valley High School. So I invite everybody to come out and support. This Saturday, actually, we're going to be having our junior-senior prom, which is going to be at the Storm Stadium's VIP room. It's going to be a masquerade theme, and all of our juniors and seniors are excited. I know the other schools are talking about promposals and campaigning, and for everyone out here who's part of CMI, make sure to vote Miguel and Stephanie for Prom King Queen. Some of our cadets are going to be participating in the U.S. Service Academy Night at Arlington High School in Riverside on April 22nd. At this location, there's going to be representatives from West Point, the U.S. Naval Academy, U.S. Air Force Academy, U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, and the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. And basically, our cadets are going to go there, and they're going to get all the information they need to apply for these amazing colleges and one day be the future leaders of our military. It's going to be a really, really awesome event. Also, another military college that's really interested in CMI is the New Mexico Military Institute, and our cadets will also have the opportunity to attend their night with NMMI on Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30. And with the first 2 weeks of May coming up, that's AP season, and our cadets are absolutely excited to crush the AP test, but I think I speak for all the AP students that we're just really excited to get it over with. It's a whole year dedicated to nothing but hard work, and I commend every single AP student in our district and throughout the world that takes part in such courses, because as an AP student, I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to juggle your life on top of these really college courses, and I'm really proud of all the AP students that are going to be taking part in the AP tests for the first 2 weeks of May. And with that being said, that's going to conclude my report for the California Military Institute today. Are there any questions? Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Miguel. I was just informed Dr. Greenberg has one more story that he missed.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe I forgot to say this. But when we bragged about Adrian Garcia, the student from Paris High School who saved a woman's life, I forgot to read what happened at Paloma the other day. And I had it here. It was stapled, and I didn't read it, but I wanted to read it because it's an incredible story. This morning, which would have been yesterday, at approximately 9:10 a.m., this is from Mr. Williamson, we were alerted to an adult male in a pickup out front who was non-responsive. Apparently, a Paloma Valley parent had hired him through recommendation of a friend to hire the man to help him do his yard work. The parent only knew the man's first name and his age. They had just finished their first lawn and were driving by the front of the school when that passenger, that person he had picked up for work during the day, passed out in the passenger seat. The parent, who has a student at Paloma, could not rouse him and pulled into the school looking for help. When the parent got into the front gate and explained what was going on, a parent, Dawn Hughes, a mother of a Paloma Valley student, was at the gate at the time and explained that she was an ER nurse at Children's Hospital in Orange County. She immediately went out to the truck. The victim was turning blue, and she began performing CPR while he was in the truck. When the rest of the admin team at Paloma arrived shortly afterwards, we were able to get him out of the truck and continued CPR on the ground. 911 had been notified. Our CNA, Jerry Swift from Paloma Valley High School, performed mouth-to-mouth in between sets of compressions. They were able to get him breathing for a short period of time. When the ambulance and fire department arrived, they took over, and they were able to transport him, and to the best of my knowledge, he's now alive. I have no doubt, Mr. Williamson said, that the quick work of parent Dawn Hughes and the support of classified employee Jerry Swift saved this man's life. It's too bad this story, the story about Adrian Garcia, these kind of things don't make the news, but these are really terrific stories, and I congratulate everybody at Paloma. And it's just a nice thought that a parent knew that I'm in trouble, I've got somebody here, I'm going to pull up to the school because I know somebody will come out and help me. And so congratulations to Jerry Swift, Dawn Hughes, and everybody at Paloma that essentially saved a man's life.
Thank you, Dr. Greenberg. Okay. Students, at this time, you can go home, study for tests, go get some sleep. Lucky you. You do not have to stay for the rest of the meeting if you don't want to. We do have PSEA President Paul Clay.
Turn it off. Thank you once again for this opportunity to address the Board of Trustees of the Paris Union High School District. And I do want to second what Dr. Greenberg said. I think both of these emergency situations in saving strangers' lives are what we should be encouraging in our student youth, in our faculty, all our employees. And I would think that it would be a good thing perhaps to announce this to the entire district, because having been there on both ends, having had my life saved and having saved other people's lives, I know how important that is. So I do appreciate that when we have students like that. I had a student once who, in a very similar situation, happened to witness something and actually saved a boy's life, a little boy who was running out into traffic, actually. And so I like that when I hear that from our students. It's a great story. I did bring some friends with me today. You guys out there? Okay. The dress code was blue, and they're doing a very good job out there. I want you to understand there are teachers from from all the sites here. Paris teachers, say hello. Okay. Paloma. Heritage. The Lake. Okay. Okay, we don't have all that many teachers at the Lake, so this is actually good. Okay. They're outside. Pinacati. Well, come on, there's more than that. I know there's more than that. I saw you. And now I am going to ask for this for every present employee and present member who at one time was or is now an employee at the Academy. Hello. Yay. There's a lot of us out there. They are here to present to the board members through me their concerns about the lack of progress in negotiations. There is no excuse for the foot-dragging and disrespect the administration has shown our negotiations team and our members at large. What do I mean by disrespect? Well, there's been a critical lack of concern in establishing meeting dates. They get pushed out, and these dates are further and further out, and it's mounted. It's been 9 months now. There has been no exhibited concern to have a quick resolution to our situation, even though we know the money is there. They find one excuse or another to continue pushing out these meetings. We first went through sunshining about a year ago, and we're still in the process, and this is indeed seems like we're no closer to resolution than we were before. The proposals that were made were unrealistic, just plain unrealistic, asking us, in effect, in one proposal to take a pay cut when we know there's more money here. That's just not realistic. They came back with a 1.25 proposal, which in all conscience could not be accepted by this association. We're the same association, remember, who, when it was, crunch time, we gave up pay. We gave up our class size limits in order to accommodate all of us, to make sure that our school still existed, at the end of the year. And now that the money is coming back in, we really do expect to see some of that restored to us. That's a restoration. We're not asking for anything that we really aren't due right at this point. We have for 7 years foregone a lot of these pay raises and had to settle for status quo or take a cut. 1 year we get a substantial increase. But we're way behind inflation right now from where we were 7 years ago. I do also have concerns about several of the employees still that we have issues with. Non-tenured employees, again, a reminder to the board, these members had been otherwise in good standing, and suddenly something happened and they fell out of good standing. They are still good teachers. And I was just informed today that one of these good teachers who is being let go is already being replaced by a teacher we had previously let go. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not disparaging the other teacher at all, but it seems that maybe somebody acknowledged a mistake in letting that other one go. I'm not sure how that works out. Geography and health. Again, I think it was a tragic mistake to cut geography and health. The students themselves, they gain so much from this. We have a health teacher out here now who has pleaded for you to retain this program. Talking about saving people's lives, health does that in very many ways. One of the basic things that it does is it teaches students some good choice making decisions about their lives. And we don't see it. It's not as dramatic as saving a child's life or saving, a person who's having a heart attack. But when we teach them how to eat right and how to take care of their health and take care of the health of their family, that's saving lives. It's giving people longer lives. Our special education teachers. Actually, this is more for all teachers, but it does affect the special education teachers. When they have exhausted their sick pay and they have to have another sick day, they're still being charged for a substitute that's never hired, and that's not right. One teacher is out on sick leave right now and received $1,000 off her check, off her pay warrant, even though no sub was hired. That can't be justified, and the union will fight that. I would also ask that in deference to the association members who were compelled to stand outside for quite a while, this rally that we had today was pretty big. It was significant. Not all of them could make it here because people have commitments, they have family. But by our count, we certainly had more than 20% of our members show up today. If there is no resolution to the contract by next month, I'm sure that will be much larger, and I think we'll need a larger venue. We'll need to have some place where they can all reasonably be accommodated, because they will start showing up. That's not a question right now. Again, we look forward to the district meeting and sitting with us and dealing fairly with us. I kind of edited this down from the original statement because I think I'll hold that for May if needed. But we do need right now to be meeting with this district on a faithful basis. We need to have their consideration. No more like just walking away from the table. We need to be at the table until we have a decision. And that's what we're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. CSEA President Claudia Davis.
Okay, good evening, President Nelson, school board members, Dr. Greenberg, and Cabinet. I'm very happy to be here because I have a lot to share with you. First, our newly elected CCO, Chapter Communications Officer, Helen Stimmick, has created our first newsletter, The Informer. I have copies for all of you. All of them. Not all of you, I'm sorry. That just gives you a little insight of what is in our newsletter. With that being said, I have appointed her to be our webmaster, and our website is currently under construction, which will keep our members up to date with current information, and they can find trainings, meeting updates, calendars with what's happening, and they can also find our contract and constitution and bylaws on this site. Second, the district and CSEA have worked together to negotiate a new position for a locksmith, which was voted on by our members and passed. It is being presented to you tonight for approval. Upon your approval of the locksmith position, we have negotiated to have our current maintenance technician locksmith, Manny Trevino, reclassified to fill one of the two locksmith positions. This will be a well-deserved promotion for Manny, considering he has been doing a great job for the district for the past 22 years. On Saturday, April 4th, I attended and completed the first of 3 chapter president leadership trainings at CSEA's Regional Training Center in El Monte. Okay, who wants to go to El Monte on Saturday? It's okay, it was fun. I am learning a lot, which will help me become the type of president my chapter needs. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Claudia. Okay, the invitation to address the Board of Trustees on agendized and non-agendized items. I got to read this statement here. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda and non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that the additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. That being said, I only have 2. To talk about a rate increase for all educators, we have Carol Alvidrez.
Good evening, board members. Why 1%? Why not 9.75%? It's just not fair. It will put all teaching positions in line with everyone else in the other districts. Paris has always been judged as a poor community. Look how much it's grown. We all know California is the most expensive state to live in. Let's not lose some or all of our good staff. I have lived here in this community since 1960 and know and seen more or less what goes on and what doesn't go on. With more people moving into this community and more schools being built, isn't it an ideal time to give all school staff the income that they profoundly deserve? I have seen staff go beyond their call of duty. I want my grandchildren to have more education with the computer knowledge there is today. How can my grandchildren get this with some of the staff leaving to other districts? I know Paris has the funds to give our teachers good raises. So let's do it now. Your model up here, growing together through education. Thank you.
Thank you. And to talk about grades, Gail Simpson.
Stay. Okay, thank you. Ditto for what she just said. All right. I'd like to address a very strange new policy being advocated by some people in authority in this district. Now, I don't have any sick days left, but I have 57 more days to work in this school district. I intend to be absent every day for the next 50 days. I am very happy that this administration is willing to pay me 50 or 60% for the work I didn't bother to come in and do. And today, after school, I walked around the track, and I am so glad this district is willing to give me 60% of the track coach's stipend. I am so thrilled. Now, some of you look very confused. No, I haven't totally lost it yet. Soon, but not yet. Asking teachers to give 50 to 60% of points to students who have done nothing to earn them is an equally ridiculous example, in my opinion. Telling teachers not to put zeros on assignments in Infinite Campus when the student did zero work is grade changing, and it must stop now. I'm the professional, and I accurately, to the very best of my ability, record the grades the student earns. I don't give them A's, and I don't give them F's. The student earns them. In the real world, employers don't give gifts for non-performance in the workplace. What kind of mixed message are we sending to our students when a principal tells teachers not to put zeros in Infinite Campus? That is not your call. It's mine as a professional. It's my name on the legal document, not yours. I understand the broken-hearted liberal concept of not hurting a child's self-esteem and only giving out happy faces on all assignments, but that's elementary school. It's not high school. I have to certify that these kids are ready for college, and if the kid did zero work, they get a 0 on the assignment. Now, I don't give a gift of points. The students can earn a variety of opportunities to earn points in my classroom, including extra credit. I work really hard to make sure the kids get opportunities for points. But if the kid puts in the effort, then they're going to earn the grade that they've earned, not the grade I'm giving them. Administration shouldn't be putting pressure on any teacher to give anything, especially points. This policy of no zeros on Infinite Campus needs to stop.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we have the consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
A second.
Okay. Please vote. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Okay. Introduction of promoted and our new employees.
None tonight, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Oral reports, Morale Committee report.
Well, as everybody knows, we, at the behest of Trustee Agundez, who's now our Vice President Agundez, we decided over a year ago that we needed to do some things tangibly to try to improve employee morale. And so we tasked Tanya Davis, and she found a bunch of willing volunteers out there and classified in the teaching ranks and administration to do just that. And we just had, or not too long ago, a very successful casino night at Penicotti Middle School. So I'm asking Mrs. Davis and her team to come forward and tell us all about that great event. And that would include Vicki Mueller. Who else? Oh, you'll introduce everybody. I know. I'm taking your job away from you, Tanya. You're in charge. Yeah. All right, Mrs. Davis, you get.
Good evening, board and fellow cabinet members. I didn't bring my entire team with me tonight. Is he? But I did bring a couple of them. Vice President of PSEA, Vicki Mueller, and I have Jonathan Holzman, who is a teacher at Paris Lake High School. And I've also asked Claudia Davis if she would share a few words as CSEA president of what she's heard back from her members. And so I'm going to step back and I'm going to let them share rather than me tell the story. And I hope you'll see and feel the excitement that we had about the event. Are you ready?
Sure.
Don't be nervous.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say that it was a great experience to be able to get the opportunity to bond with other district employees, including classified, certificated, and basically administration. It was a great opportunity to basically just enjoy each other's company outside of a normal work setting. Plus, it gave it a great opportunity to sit at poker tables and bluff against administrators and even go all in and even lose to my site's administrators. So that was fun. But it was just a great experience to be able to sit outside of a classroom and be able to communicate with classified and other certificated members as well as admin that maybe I don't get to see on a daily basis. And from everyone I talked to, it was a great experience, and we really look forward to future opportunities to do the similar.
It was interesting that as the night was wearing on and people were coming up, so when's the next one? So I think that was one of the messages that we got, is that people that did come had an amazing time. And it was really good to sit across and watch people play poker that did not do a very good job playing poker. And we're out of money very quickly out of money. But it was
Some people thought all in was a good idea.
Yeah. Go figure. But I have to say that working with this team was really wonderful. We worked really hard to transform our NPR at Penicotti into the casino night, and I'm really looking forward to our next event. Thank you.
Well, everyone I spoke with, all the classifieds and everybody, they just really enjoyed it. I walked in there and I went, am I in Vegas? Because it was nice to have the tables and just to be able to speak with everybody. What I really enjoyed was being able to gamble and you could put $500 down on blackjack, and it wasn't your money. It wasn't real, but it was even fun. But everyone had a great time. And thank you very much for allowing us to do that.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that the food, and that was provided by the Kathy Hakala, isn't it Hakala, and her students, and it was amazing. The hors d'oeuvres and the trays and everything. In fact, we had a lot of
McGrath's actually
did
the food, but they
McGrath's, but the kids served. Sorry, but
and they got tips.
And they got tips. But we wanted to know if anyone found out how much they ended up making for their club, and I don't think we have that total yet. But the food was really good too.
So I think that kind of summarizes how we felt about the event. I didn't hear anything negative. I think it was transformed. I have to give Vicki kudos because she was in charge of decorations, and the stuff that she found was phenomenal. And she's a really great bargain shopper. She came in under budget, and I really appreciated that because the stuff that we were able to do in there was phenomenal. We brought an outside person, outside company in to do tables. We used a Paris High graduate for the photo booth, and he was really excited. He's just recently started his business. He was phenomenal. So any of you schools out there that need one, I'd be happy to share his name. It was a really fun experience. So I think as a morale committee, we feel like we finished the year off and pulled off a couple of events that we feel like pulled people together. And I think we're looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish next year. Thank you for the opportunity and your support.
Thank you. Okay, or report on Scholar Plus and instructional technology.
Well, I'm going to introduce the team, but I'm first just going to introduce Candace Rains, we've got a lot of people here to talk about all the innovation going on in this district, and innovation with a capital I.
Well, thank you, Dr. Greenberg. So as the team makes their way up here, I'll introduce them in a minute. And those of you up here may not remember, like we do here, but it has been 2 years now since we pulled the trigger on our Scholar Plus one-to-one innovative technology program. To all of us up here, it feels like we've been working 6 or 7 years on it because we've done a lot in 2 years. And the year prior to writing the proposal, having that approved, placing that order for Chromebooks and so forth, we put a lot of work in with these and other teacher leaders. So tonight, Joe Williams, the Director of Technology, Shane Pinnell, Supervisor of Technology, and I'm just going to start in the order that you're in. Robert Guzman, the Teacher on Special Assignment for CMI, Dr. Julie Shaw for Heritage High School, Mark Sinnott for Pennacotty, the Academy, and Paris Lake High School, and last but not least, Chad Shaner with Paris High School, who is also Sports Challenge Organizer Extraordinaire. I know many of us were there. Thank you, Chad, for that. Yeah, I think you had more fun than the kids. So they are going to talk to you about what we are doing with innovation in education with technology, and I hope that you will enjoy our presentation. We're starting with you, Joe.
So what I want to tell you at the beginning of this is what I want you to be left with. I want you to know that this district is truly a unique and special place to work for. And when the tech coaches and teachers travel around and we do professional development and we attend professional development and we collaborate with other districts, they tell us you are a very special place to work for. So you as board members and cabinet members, you should know that there are some extremely special things going on here. So if I can leave you with anything at the end of this presentation on Scholar Plus, is that you should know that this is an extremely special district to work for. And the presentation that we're going to talk to you about today is sort of like how we're redefining the classroom. And there's like two big points. One of them is how we're using instructional technology, how we're using blended learning, and how we're extending the learning day. That's all kind of wrapped into one big point. And then the second part is how PUHSD is supporting change. And we hear the board and we hear the teachers when they talk about change and they talk about Common Core and they talk about modern classrooms and how education is going to address these modern needs. and change is difficult. Well, you can't have change without a support system and a support model. And so the second part is how PUHSD supports change. And I can tell you the most powerful aspect of change is a collegial model of coaching. And we heard a few opportunities today where other speakers did speak about how the impact the coaches had. So at the district level, I can tell you that we regularly interact with the thought leaders in the region. Candace and I are part of the Google think tank. Grant and I go to the RTMCO conference, and I wasn't really paying attention, so pending board approval, I'm going to a 3DDC conference. I don't know if that was approved yet, but I was kind of busy. And so I'm sitting on a panel of Congress and the Congressional Caucus on STEM programs. But what I want you to know also is that, and I'm sorry to not let Jonathan know this, but I just found out earlier in the day that 3 PUHSD employees have been selected to serve as at-large board members on Q. I'm one of them, Jed's one of them, and Julie Shaw's one of them. We just found out that today. So that's district-level stuff that we're doing regional, and it's excellent. I can tell you that the ed tech level, we're doing everything we can to support teachers in this change. We have site-level ETC meetings. The teachers have bragged about these ETC meetings. It's a meeting where they have a voice, and they really feel that it's nice to have a voice. We listen to all of them, and they come up with great examples. I can tell you we keep pushing at our ETC meetings for them to tell us how we can improve, and we make improvements in our data dashboard on how we look at stuff. There's kiosk modes and other stuff that we do with the Chromebooks that just make them easier to use. We're constantly trying to figure out how it's better to use. But I can tell you the last point that the coaches will go into, that we really promote the collegial model of professional development, teachers helping teachers. And coaches are an extremely important part of that. And me at the district level, I know that my job is to provide the time, the space, and the resources for the teachers to do their jobs, to implement instructional programs. And then Shane will take the sort of the tech part of it.
So in education, there's like a IT side and an ed tech side. So we're going to talk about the tech side a little bit. We think that in technology, the IT department, we think our job basically is to provide the tools and resources so that the teachers can do the great things that they do in the classroom. We can spend lots of money on networking and computers and all that, but none of it's really worth anything if it's not being used to good effect in the classroom. And we have a lot of great teachers doing that, and the tech coaches that are definitely helping out with that, making sure that the teachers are able to use all of this great stuff that we do have, including all the Chromebooks, and using those to good effect in the classroom. We have some coaching going on for the programming at Pinacati that we have been supporting. I go out there every Wednesday and help out with that. Mostly that's just kind of technical stuff. We have Mark there, and then Mr. Unatene is also doing that stuff. What's that? Oh, and so yes, all of our staff is involved in that too. We're really pushing our techs kind of out of the office and trying to get our techs to go out into the classroom and to assist the teachers directly, and with tech coaches' help too.
Yeah, and before we go on to the individual sites, Shane actually coined this, and it's a provocative term, but once I explain it to you, techs are coming out of the closet and into the classroom, because historically on high school campuses, techs would hide out in the server room and not come out and help people. We've taken away computers from the server rooms. They have laptops. They have to work in the classroom. And Candace is exactly right. Classified members like Beth Hayden and our techs will serve and help these clubs, the coding clubs, the maker spaces. They present at conferences. They present at Pasadena, where Jonathan was honored for his RCAOP award. And we have these classified staff members attending professional development with us side by side. It's truly a collaborative.
Mark. All right.
Sorry, this is Mark's, isn't it?
So am I going this and then the other two? Or?
Oh, yeah.
What about him? Oh, okay. Yeah, Tom Ashley's not really sick, but he had to have a...
He's having a procedure that people get at a certain age.
He's having certain procedures done. He couldn't be here.
Hey, Vicki, before the grievance comes, it was from a unit member. Administration said nothing.
I just said he couldn't be here today. That's
Next time I'll just do it myself.
Thank you. I just said he couldn't be here. That's what.
That's why you love me. He's out.
Just a little bit of TMI there, John. Joseph.
Okay, well, Tom couldn't be here today, but that's all I was going to say. So, my name is Mark Sinnott. Let's try to keep it together now. So, the Academy is one of my sites. What we are, one thing I did want to say about them, which is not as much tech related, but 60% of their students did exit and go back to their sites. And that's due to the mentoring program that you guys already heard about. That's the leadership of Dr. Pauline Garcia back there, and just all the wonderful staff there that care about the kids. What the kids are doing in their math classes right now are a robotics program, and then I've also, this is kind of getting off the ground, but we're doing coding there also. So kids are able to use their coding. Oh, you did put my 3 sites. Okay. Also, Paris Lake High School is one of my other sites. What's going on there is teachers are mastering their chosen tech. So here's I just put 5 teachers here, and they're also using, some of these teachers have gone to district PDs, and then they've come back and taught the other teachers at their site. So I've worked with each one of these teachers to kind of build. They come to me with what they like to use, and then we create them as master teachers and teacher leaders on campus. And my other site is Pentecostal Middle School. We have all kinds of programs there to get kids involved. We have the Robotics Club, Coding Club, a technology class that just started this year. We also use all of our journalism, just like we had last year, using Haiku. Vicki Mueller does an awesome job with Project Lead the Way. And what we're doing there is, and basically what I do a lot there is I try to create teacher leaders there. And a lot of teachers are stepping up saying, I want to be a tech leader on this campus, and they are going the extra mile, and I work with them, and they're doing very well. And next year, proud to announce, and thanks to Drew Morgan for this, we're going to have the first makerspace in PUHSD. We took an old lab and took all the stuff that doesn't really work that well anymore, and we made it and we're going to make it into a makerspace with Shane and Joe's help. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Robert Guzman. I'm at CMI, and what we're doing at CMI is that we're closing the tech gap. And the way we're doing that is I send out a bi-monthly tech newsletter that has all sorts of updates, whether it's Gmail, Google Apps, or whatever other software we're using at the school. And so my teachers get a newsletter that I create, and I send it out to them, and they can update themselves. So it's ongoing PD that keeps going on outside of the classroom and outside of actual PDs. I also have the opportunity to open up myself on Wednesdays to refresh them on anything we're using, whether it's Haiku, EDUMS, or anything else. We also started our site, CMI ETC, where we have student and staff participating in our Education Technology Council. We have a coding club at CMI now that we launched about 2.5 months ago. We had a parent tech night, actually, last week. We had lots of success. We did it in Spanish and English, and we also posted all of those resources on our website. And I have shared them with some of the other tech coaches to go out to the other sites. And my entire goal at CMI is to create a collaborative culture and expand our technology know-how, and sharing is caring. So thank you.
So my name is Julie Shaw, and just some of the things that are happening at Heritage High School, it's innovation. Starts with innovation. We have Mr. Posley. He's a math teacher. He started off with a Twitter chat with his students in the classroom, which started off as hashtag HHS Math Chat. But then he collaborated with other teachers in our district, and that expanded to hashtag PUHSD Math Chat. So we have now students that are in the evening getting on Twitter. One of the teachers poses a question, and the students respond to that question in the evening on their own. They're not receiving any credit for it or anything like that. They're just doing it at their own will. So it's pretty incredible. Just some other examples. We have Fake Book by Mrs. Orndorff. We have Poetry Camp, which is a spoof off of Ed Camp Paris, which I hope you all will attend on May 9th, which is it's basically an Ed Camp that Mr. La Rochelle did in his classroom. These are just some examples. We have professional development that's been going on all year, and just a couple of examples. We had a Google Apps for Education professional development that some of our teachers attended earlier in the year, and they came back to the sites and did a professional development with all the staff, and the teachers loved it so much that they asked us to do it again, so they did a second one. And some of our teachers that are attending these PDs, they start off with a little bit of technology, and when they go to a conference, they see somebody else using it, they get new ideas, and it just pushes them over the edge, and they just do all kinds of incredible things in their classrooms. And then we're also doing technology out of the classroom, and I have some examples listed there. But basically, my role as a tech coach is to meet the teachers wherever they're at. We have some teachers that are not ready to really do anything beyond maybe haiku or just try a little bit, experiment a little bit. We have teachers like Mr. Posley who are really taking off. So meeting the teachers where they're at, lowering their affective filter, and then pushing them to that next level.
I'll be speaking for my friend Tom. He is. What he wanted the board to know, and it was evident when the coaches were meeting and they were putting their slides together. And what he honestly feels about the teachers at Paloma Valley is that there's a culture being created that things are important. And so in the district, the Paloma Valley teachers are just rocking it on haiku, and it's the expectation. And there's a quote out there that says, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Right? So you can strategize all you want about trying to fix stuff, but if you don't get into the culture, it's just not going to work. And they're creating a culture at Paloma where these things are important. They're attending all the district-level ETC meetings where they have a voice. They're attending the site-level ETC meetings where they have a voice, and those filter up to us. They also won a Riverside County Office of Ed award in the first year of Scholar Plus for their implementation. And so the message you need to know is that they're building a culture that this is important. And Tom's role as a coach and the other coaches is that he does use that collaborative coaching model, that trusts in your teacher leadership and knows that when you're helping teachers to change, that you have to establish trust and build relationships.
Hello, good evening. My name is Chad Shaner, and I'm the tech coach at Paris High School. A lot of exciting things have been happening at Paris High School. I've been helping out teachers in the classroom, integrating technology into their lesson plans. Some teachers that have been doing some great things, like Shannon Romero, an English teacher, she's been using Wix websites to have her students actually create websites. And in the website, they have to compose written statements, and so that's helping improving their writing in a really unique way. Princess Choi, she's using Twitter chats in the classroom to get students to talk about their learning. When you get someone to actually talk about and express about how they learn, then that's going to improve the learning. Ryan Hayes, he's doing incredible things with Arduino, which is kind of integrating sensors and circuits and mechanical pieces combined with computer coding, and then creating robots and all sorts of cool stuff that the kids are getting really excited about. We've got Julia Peacock. She's an English teacher, and she was using a video editor to get her students to create videos on their Chromebooks that helped express their learning just beyond the paper and pencil. So one of the things that I like to do is get my foot in the door with a teacher by solving some kind of problem for them. Sometimes it's, hey, Mr. Shaner, can you help me out? I'm trying to give this EDIMS assessment online. So basically what you're doing is you're replacing a paper Scantron sheet that you used to fill in with bubbles with a Chromebook. And you fill in bubbles on the Chromebook, essentially, and it grades it automatically. So, well, that's great, but I like to think that you can't treat these Chromebooks like a $300 pencil. You can't just take the Chromebook and use it to replace the task that a pencil once did just as well. So, but that gets my foot in the door. Then I'm able to talk to the teacher. Oh, by the way, have you looked into doing this? And now we start having the conversation about how can we use this technology? How can we use the Chromebooks beyond just replacing paper and pencil, but actually to create transformative lessons, experiences that these kids could have that would have been impossible without the Chromebooks, communicating with other classrooms across the country. publishing their documents, publishing videos for others to view and comment. I mean, these kinds of experiences would have been impossible without the technology we have. So I'm just grateful that I'm in a district that has that.
So one of the last two things, there's three things, because I'm not going to let EdCamp be, if you're kind of wondering, what is EdCamp? But we hadn't talked about that yet. But this last slide says, if you are among those that believe it can't be done, then please do not interrupt this district as we are currently doing it. I'm just telling you right now, we regularly collaborate with the thought leaders around the country, districts that are struggling, districts, our brothers and sisters, teachers who are to the north, south, east, and west of us, who want to know how we are doing this and how we're adapting. And often we talk to them and they say, hey, how are you doing it? And our coaches and myself tell them, and then their follow-up is, well, we can't do that. And then they'll ask me another question, and they'll say, well, we can't do that. And there's all the reasons why they can't, but we've built the capacity of our coaches and our teachers to do it and to make it happen. And that's why we're a truly unique district. This shift in education is here, and I think that we're doing an excellent job in planning and anticipating and listening to teachers. So, and on that, if you have any questions, listening to the board members too. The last slide is, I always use this. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's why we involve all stakeholders. And this part of this go together message, if you're available May 9th, please come to Heritage High School for an Ed Camp. The Ed Camp movement is teacher-centered professional development where teachers get to choose the sessions, and we can go into more detail about what that is in order to save time on the school board presentation. The tech coaches are wearing the Ed Camp shirts. The Ed Camp is opened up to any teacher, certificated, classified, parents, anybody can attend, and it is 100% driven on what the participants want to be the sessions. You show up to an Ed Camp with no pre-planned sessions. You craft the sessions throughout the day. And it's free.
So am I right? Wow. Wow. So I am so proud of this district. You guys are amazing. Chad, I want to correct one thing that you said because you didn't get it exactly right. He said this would not be possible without this technology. I want to correct that. It would not be possible without you guys. You guys are amazing. You take the teachers to the next level. Without you guys, the teachers would use the Chromebooks as a $300 pencil, and that would be okay, but they wouldn't make that giant leap like you guys are able to do by meeting them where they are. So, thank you for taking our, collective vision and turning that into this wonderful Scholar Plus program that other districts seek to be like. And so I want to say one more thing, because we are such an amazing district, and not just because of Scholar Plus. That is just one thing that we do. So amazing. We really want to work on this team, and there are others. Marcy and I have talked, and others, and we really want to promote, and I know I'm pointing to her like she's there, right? I know, I'm sorry. But if you know me well, I'm generally pointing in the wrong direction, so I should have some credit for that. But we really want to promote and market this district. We want students who sometimes leave to go to Murrieta or Val Verde because they have misconceptions about what our district is. They're wrong. Our district is great. And so we need to, we're working so hard, all of us, sometimes we forget to let others know the great things that we're doing. So we're working on a promotion and marketing plan for our district. We want students to stay here. We want students to come back here. We want teachers. We're a growing district now again. I know that's hard to believe after years of decline, but we want teachers to apply to our district. Steve does a great presentation. He's got all the technology when he goes to recruitment fairs, and so we want the best of everything here, and I think that we should be proud of that. Marcy and I have we've talked about looking at our mission statement and bringing some proposals back to the board, our district logo, the things that would represent what our district is really about today and not what it was about 20 years ago. And that's not to say we were a bad district 20 years ago, but we are different. So that concludes our presentation. Do any of you have any questions for any of us?
I did want to correct you.
Oh, please. Oh.
It's, instead of a $300 pencil, it'll probably turn into a $300 paperweight without the proper training.
You are correct. And so, one last thing. It's okay if you don't know what Arduinos are or hashtags or IE EdChats, or I think that these guys use more acronyms than I've ever seen in any board presentation, but that's okay. We love them anyway. Yes. But, we invite you to come to an ETC meeting, come out to one of the sites. The coaches would love to have you shadow them for a day, an hour. Come out and see the great things we're doing because it's really, really exciting. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, information item, Williams settlement. More information items, discipline report, suspension report. An action item, resolution number 20:14-15, proclaiming the day of May 13th, 2015 as the Day of the Teacher.
So moved.
Second.
I think you all know we have amazing teachers in this district, and recognizing them is the least we can do. They work so hard on behalf of our students, and so we will do a lot of things that day, that week, and so will everybody else to recognize our great classroom teachers, which includes counselors and psychologists and other people who are certificated. So thank you, Board.
Okay. Please vote. Thank you. Okay. Action item, resolution number 21:14-15, proclaiming the dates of May 17th through the 23rd, 2015 as Classified School Employees Week. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay.
And before you vote, Claudia and her friends in Sacramento are obviously very innovative. The teachers we all thought had all the pull in Sacramento, they get one day. Classified gets a whole week of recognition. But seriously, classified support staff are the glue that keeps us moving as a district. We could not exist without them. And I'm really proud that this board, during the tough economic times, unlike other school districts, decided that we needed our support staff. And so no one got laid off. And we're very proud of the group and look forward to working with Mrs. Davis to recognize them during that week.
Thank you.
Both Mrs. Davises. Both that one and that one. They're not related.
Splitting image of each other. All right, thank you. Please vote. Thank you. Okay. Action item, personnel. The district is submitting its initial proposal to negotiate with CSEA for the 2014-15 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, it's a public hearing? Okay. After I open.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can just keep going.
I'm sorry, who seconded that? Was that Joan? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So now that we're open, so do I have to call the time?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a public hearing. It was open at 7:01. Do I have anybody who wants to speak on this item? Nope. No takers? Okay. So please vote. All right. And then I guess it would be closed at 7:02. Thank you. I don't know. Okay. The other side of this, California CSEA submits its initial proposal to negotiate with the district for the 2014-15 and 15-16 school years. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second.
Is a public hearing for this one as well? Okay. So the hearing is opened at 7:02. Do I have any takers to talk on this subject? None come up, so please vote on this item. All right. Should we wait 1 minute? And we close it at 7:03.
Only in America.
Yep. Okay. Action item, approval of health and welfare benefit increase for board members, management, and confidential employees, and establishment of a tiered cap structure funded through the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Carolyn. Okay. Would you like information on this?
Do you want just a
quick snapshot on it?
So essentially, this is to bring management, confidential, and board members in line with the overall year-to-year increase, rather, that PSEA receives and then was given to CSEA when we calculated that last for CSEA. That was for 13-14. What we do is we look at, because PSEA has sort of a rolling cap with their 80-20 structure. What does that equate to on average? And so generally, I won't say in bad years, but in good years, I'm looking at the CSEA president there, we offer that up to CSEA, and then generally the board does the same for management and confidential. So this gives that same dollar amount, but it also creates a tiered cap structure with spending no additional dollars than we would have otherwise to help our families out a little bit. So essentially, the increase goes to the two parties and to the families.
Okay. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Please vote. Okay, thank you. Information item, new course, digital electronics, project Lead the Way. Information item, new middle school course, project Lead the Way, Gateway to Technology. Revolving cash report. There's still cash in the revolving cash report?
Yes.
All right, that's a good. That's
Still
a good,
moving around.
Still moving around. It's good to know. And off to closed session if necessary.
Not necessary tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Okay, action item, board review of student discipline matters, ratification of the agreement of expulsion. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Please vote on this. Thank you. 18.1, other items by the superintendent?
None.
Thank you. Other items by the Board of Trustees? Dr. Rouse? None? Ms. Twyman? Ms. Cooley? Mr. Agundes? I wanted to say that I did go to the musical, Shrek the Musical, at Paloma Valley, and I thought it was very funny. My daughters enjoyed especially one song that was written by Broadway-level writers and had Shrek and Fiona having a contest of belching and flatulating. That was pretty funny. But I wasn't expecting that, but otherwise, it was even including that, it was very good, very well done, and the kids did a great job, and it was a lot of fun for my family to go to. So that was that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Please vote. Okay. Probably take a 10-minute break before we start CMI. Thank you.
Good job.
Okay.